You are Sint Maarten. You are Sint Maarten.
Dear people of Sint Maarten, good evening. Welcome to your radio program, You Are Sint Maarten on Radio Mix 94.7 FM. For me, it's a great honor again to be on this live radio program in which there is an opportunity for you to call in also. Soon I will say the number that you can call to be in direct contact with us. But before that, I would like to once more welcome you to this radio program, You Are Sint Maarten. That is actually a radio program from the political movement Unified, Resilient Sint Maarten Movement. As you know, I, Dr. Messelina, I'm your host on this radio program. Actually, we are more than 2 years consecutively busy with this weekly radio program that shows our discipline and commitment to inform the people of Sint Maarten. As you know, I'm Dr. Messelina, the surgeon working here in Sint Maarten as a surgeon in the Sint Maarten Medical Center since 1999. And of course, since the 10th of October 2021, I'm the leader and the founder of the political movement You Are Sint Maarten, actually Unified, Resilient Sint Maarten Movement. As a political party, we believe in informing the people of this country because I think that's the only way for us to move forward with a country by constantly staying in touch with the people and inform them about the actualities that is going on in our community. Today I have two great candidates with me for us to have a great conversation in the coming hour. I have two candidates, promising candidates on our political party slate. In the first place, I have on the right side of me, to the end of the table, I have Mr. Junior Rollocks, that is candidate number 9 on the political party list, the Unified Resilient Sint Maarten Movement. Junior, for me a great honor and a great pleasure to have you in our program, I have to say. Welcome.
Good evening, Doc. Good evening. Thank you so much for having me this evening. I appreciate it. After a good while, I'm back on the station here with you. And it's always an honor to be with you as a leader. And as I always say, I would like to thank you for the opportunity that you gave me to be part of this beautiful, wonderful, dedicated political party, which is the URSM. I truly appreciate that opportunity. I'm not tired of continuing telling you that, and I also would like to thank the board, of course. Thank you for the opportunity that I have a chance to run on a political slate, on this great political slate, and the opportunity to become a parliamentarian in our wonderful country.
Very good. That's the way to look at it, Junior. Thank you very much. And next to Junior Rollocks, I have another potential promising candidate on our political party slate that is also contesting the upcoming parliamentary elections that will take place on the 11th of January 2024 in the name of Michel Somersall. Michel, welcome to our radio program, You Are Sint Maarten.
Good evening, Doc. Thank you for having me on the program once again. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you, radio listeners, for tuning in and for following us on Facebook Live. It's an honor. You know, Mr. Rollocks already said that being part of your team, you know, it's an honor to be part of your team. And we've known each other before setting up URSM. Mm-hmm. However, you know, I do believe in times and seasons, and I really believe that this is the time and season for URSM. We're heading into 2024, and it's a new time, a new season, and we are here contesting this election so that we can serve the people of Sint Maarten in the true essence of the word.
You know, Junior and Michel, I'm outside here, and I'm very impressed with the vibe that I'm experiencing in this campaign period going towards the 11th of January 2024. Junior, share a little your feelings and your experience outside there because you're a very hardworking candidate,
Yes, yes,
showing
yes.
really the people of St. Maarten your good heart with your great intention to help the people once you're in, once they mandate you as a member of parliament. Tell us about how you feel it outside there and what your impression is.
Doc, I am very humbled to say that I work every day. I don't get tired. I continue pushing because at the end of the day, it's for your country. This is not for me, neither you, neither Michelle. It's for our children and for the future of our country. And Doc, there's a lot of people out there is hurting, and I'm asking and I'm almost begging to let's change the road of this country. You cannot expect to vote the same and expect a different result. It cannot happen, Doc. It's not even possible if you look at it in a good way. And you're seeing what is happening to our country right now. False promises, playing with the hopes of the people. And it's hurtful, Doc. It's very hurtful, and a lot of poverty, Doc. That is something I mention it to you every time, Doc. We have to work on the poverty, getting people out of poverty of this country. Because you're asking yourself, the last 10, 13 years since 10, what did the government did for you? Or for the country at large, I don't see anything.
And for the poor people.
And for the people less fortunate, the poor
Less
folks,
fortunate, yes.
They need to get job. We need to create job for these folks, Doc. And I'm talking to people, and sometimes, Doc, I'm gonna be honest with you. I even want to say it on air that I believe that our government, it's like they want to keep our people poor. Keep our people less educated, that they can manipulate them on election day. And it's sad because when you look at it, you ask yourself, our people, the education level is very low. The poverty, that's not even to talk about. And we have to work on that, Doc.
Yeah, and we have to stop having governments representative that is manipulating the people.
Yes.
A good example is, for example, what happened today. We have our police officers that I think is one of the visit cards of your country.
Yes, sir.
Is a pillar of stability, safety, combating criminality, making sure that your family live in a safe environment. They are working for years to get the compensation that they deserve. It's not that you're doing them any favor, it's just giving them what they have right to. Yeah. For today we see that the minister wants to play a political game, thinking that the police officers are going to be sensitive for this. You know what my problem is? I analyzed what has happened today with the police officers, and we are now giving decrees, landsbesluiten, as we say. And these landsbesluiten are for 2024. So she is giving out empty promises on a budget that still has to be approved in Parliament. Can you imagine? And I think it's correct. If I see the picture of the ceremony, they have exposed a lot of empty chairs.
Nobody was there.
Nobody was there. Yeah. And I think that's a signal that our people are waking up and realizing that they don't want to be the victim of manipulation anymore. Officers are not small children going to school anymore. No. These are serious civil servants that are standing on the front line of protecting and guaranteeing safety for now, for these cheap political games to be played 14 days before election day and think that that's the way to get some votes from the people. Our democratic system is failing. We have people now, thank God, the majority of the people in this country now realize that they do not have the hope anymore in the people sitting in front of them that has to lead them, and they lost the trust too. And I think an action plan as today shows that people are waking up, realizing that they will never more be manipulated with empty promises by politicians, and especially not 2 weeks before election. You had 4 years
Yes,
to
sir.
fix this for the justice works, not only for the police.
Well,
You had 4 years to fix it for all civil servants,
servants.
because there's a fancy book for all civil servants.
Yes.
And now last minute, you're going to do it 14 days before
Before.
elections. And now that you're giving them a paycheck in their hand, no, you're giving them a landsbesluit, a decree, and in the hope that the next government that is coming in is going to approve that parliamentary budget, the nation, the national budget of the country, for one day in the future, maybe perhaps they will be paid out if there is money in the coffers of government. And you know, I'm so happy to see that the chairs were empty today. And for me, that's a sign that our people are waking up and thinking, no more, no more.
You know, Doc, it's so remarkable when you think about it. And I tell myself, Doc, we are 14 days from election. And have you realized that every day they sign and take out pictures and to show the people some kind of, I don't know what they want to show. And the sad thing is, Doc, the 4 years that they had to serve, right? That means you have we as the people for a fool. Because in those 4 years, it's policy this, policy that. This is a problem. That is a. But all of a sudden now, 14 days before election, you can sign this, GB this, land this. It's remarkable, Doc. It's something that I even ask myself if they think they're serious or they're just joking around or what is it?
You know, what it is, I think that they believe in their tactics, and they don't realize they're so hypnotized by that way of working that they even don't realize that they are really disconnecting from the perception of the people that has to vote for them.
Sure.
We are going to get a great wake-up call on the 11th of January. I'm telling you, we are going to get a wake-up call that is going to shake up this country in a way that I think one thing can happen is that totally different political parties are going to get the possibility to govern this country. And I think people are so hungry to see something else. That we will get the cooperation of the people, the understanding that, of course, we're going to get a difficult country to govern, but with the understanding, with the cooperation of the people and some patience, I think we are able to put back this country on track for the future.
But when you talk to people, Doc, you're hearing them talking about the same thing, and they're saying, you know, we cannot put these people back in government.
Yes.
And this is what the sentiments you're hearing on the streets.
Indeed, Somersall.
And people want you to come to their home and come and sit with them in their yard and have a discussion.
Yeah.
And this is what the feedback I've been getting. And people say, you know, the big parties and the rallies is nice. But you know what? Come down by me in the yard.
Yes.
I'm going to gather some of my friends. We're going to have a serious discussion on how we want to move this country forward. And for a little while there, a lot of people was thinking, you know, but this Eurosem party, a lot of Dutch on this party, a lot of Dutch mentality thinking. And in talking with them to explain them that, you know, it's just that mentality and the fact that we live abroad and we studied and worked there help us to understand how the Dutch think. And when you explain that to them, that this is what we need if we got to go into negotiations, then they're like, you know, actually that makes sense. That you have people who know how they're thinking. And they really want you to come in and sit with them because they say, we cannot go through this again. Not with the same government.
You know what I love so much of the name is that everybody, you know, Sint Maarteners, Curacao, Aruba, Chinese, everybody, you are Sint Maarten.
Yeah.
You know, you're here, you are Sint Maarten. Doc, where did you get that name? It's a beautiful name. No, seriously.
We had a lot of meetings by me at home. And at the end of the day, we wanted something with unification, unified, unity, and we ended up making that we had to have a U in the name.
Yes, you.
Unified. And Sint Maarten people has proven to be resilient people. But you know, don't misabuse of that quality that they have. And this government has been abusing because they know that genetically our people of Sint Maarten are resilient people. But now you're pushing your luck with them. And that's why they're going to show you on the 11th that something else is going to happen, not to put them in more challenging situation that they are at this particular moment. And as you say, Junior, the biggest threat for a country, for prosperity, if you have a predominant
Yes.
control by poverty, and this poverty is actually killing
Our country.
killing the prosperity, the future, the development of this country. And that's why I really believe that we have to work on increasing the life standard of the people of this country. We have many ways to do it. One way is, for example, to educate the people.
Yes.
You have to make sure that you have education in place, because education is a way for you to get a decent job, get a good compensation for your job, get stability in continuity of income, and in that way you can start building on your future. Another way that the URSM is thinking on combating this poverty is the rent-to-own project that we have, that we actually empower the people. And then at the end of the day, after 10, 15 years of paying rent for a home, for a house, they will be able to get the house on their name notarized, and then they can use that house as a collateral, for example, to get a loan to start a
business.
And that is the way to push people forward.
It's very important, Doc, to explain to people that, because once you become owner of your home, and you have no debt on your home, you can use this home to buy a property, or you can use this home to open a business, get a loan to open a business.
You have collateral.
You have collateral, because a lot of that's the biggest problem we have, or people have in St. Martin right now, is the collateral part. Because remember, if, for example, a mother is 75 years old and the house is collateral free, and maybe she have a daughter of 30 years old and wants to go for a mortgage and want to open a business, so then the mother will co-sign with her at the bank, and we'll get an opportunity to open a business.
I want to just make use of this opportunity just to tell the audience that we have a direct phone line that you can call in if you would like to make a statement or ask a question or be more informed about this URSM.
Please.
You can call 5437961. I repeat, 5437961. If there's any person outside there that is listening to our program and would like to call in, feel free to call 5437961. We were talking about combating poverty. Another way to do it too, Michel, is to try to work on a national development bank for country Sint Maarten.
Yes.
That you can give the people a mortgage with a low interest rate, instead of going for a mortgage interest percentage by the commercial banking of 7.5%, that is killing everybody. You can do it with the National Development Bank for 2.5%. Or even less, sometimes 2.3, and in that way you can offer the people the possibility of getting a loan, a mortgage, to invest in the future in purchasing a property or a piece of land or a house. In that way they can start working on their future.
Yeah, you mentioned that a few times, Doc, and it's something that is a must. It's something that we really need for the country. We have our central bank with Sint Maarten and Curacao, but we are a country on our own. We have mentioned this before. We need to have our own bank.
Yes, sir.
Sint Maarten need their own bank so that, we can dictate, we can manage it and manage the finances. We can invest so that we got enough money to borrow our people. Yes, and by doing that, of course, we control the interest rates, like you said. So it's a must. This is not something that is fictive. No, it's a must for a country to have their own national bank.
You know what is so important to talking about the banks? The technology that we're going in as a country, as a world, the technology that the world is facing right now. We have a lot of individuals don't know how to go on the internet, don't know how to use computers. I know a lot of people know, most people know that I have my computer center in Soccer Garden. And, Dr. Marcelina, it's very sad. People comes in there and they don't know what's a resume. They don't know how to set up a resume. They don't know what's a CV, and they don't know how to use banking online, online banking. They don't know none of these stuff. And it's sad sometimes individuals go by government entities and they just tell them, go online. But how? If you don't show the people how to use it, what would be smart that government can do? Throw some small videos, how to
Yes.
step by step how
Info
to use your
videos.
services from people. Be more friendly to the people of this country.
Yeah.
Not when election time come, just throw a party for them and just give them some food and expect them
That's not it.
to go on your part. It's not going to work. No. We have to be more for our people. We have to be there for our people and make it something for the country. As we say, URSM. St. Maarten right now, the government has become a like a family business. Everybody is a small group that can get whatever they want,
benefit from it.
benefit from whatever, and the outside group stays outside.
Yeah. What I like the people to understand, there's a reason why when you look at the U.S. and other big countries, that presidents only can run for 2 terms.
Yes.
The leaders of the countries are there for a time, and in our democratic system, that is not the case. But we have had older parties there from the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000, coming straight down. And once again, they did what they could to the best of their ability in that time.
Yes.
But we are in a new time and season now. We're going in 2024. We need a different mindset. We need different leaders to lead this country in this time. You can't throw young wine in old bags because the city's going to bust. And that's what we're seeing with all the older political parties. We're going to add some new wine to it, but at the end, they
it's the same old
implode,
bag.
right? Same old bag. We need young, new leaders who are forward-thinking to lead this country in 2024.
You know what's so hurtful, Somersall? It's when you're out there campaigning, I feel like sometimes I have to pay for the ones that are elected right now.
Yeah.
Because there's people just have lost hope. They're like, everyone is the same. You guys get in there and forget about us. Don't look back for us. Yeah. And that's just it hurts. It hurts, because you really try to bring the word, try to explain to them, listen, this is the way we want to go and this is what we want to do. And the most important thing what I try to talk and say is that you keep voting for the same people, you're not going to get a different result.
No, you're not, because they're going to do things the old way, how they know it from back then. But times is changing. Technology, we're just talking about that, has changed. Everything has changed.
Yep.
But if the mindset of our leaders who are there now don't change, we're going to be sitting in the same mess, which we're in right now.
It's a total mess. And Doc, I would like you to touch on, there's a sentiment very, very, very high in our community right now, which is GB, Doc. Everywhere you go, doctor, everybody is telling you about this GB situation, and I'm explaining to them, listen, you have big rallies. These politicians is going on stage, screaming at you, telling you, yes, vote for me, and before Christmas, GB is there disconnecting people, Doc.
Yeah. Now, first thing I want to say is that we have to make a distinction between those persons, people working by GB day and night trying to serve us. And out of my heart and also in the name of the URSM, I want to thank the whole personnel of GEPE for what they're doing under very difficult circumstances. Yeah. Actually also suffering for all the criticism that they are getting while they're just going to the work to try to do what they can. But further, it's the politics that is intervening with this GEPE that is messing up this company. And every time you are just yelling to the GEPE and criticizing this utility company. But I can tell you we have to make a distinction between those that are hardworking people by GEPE, that they're doing whatever they can to try to supply us with electricity and water. And they too also are looking at management and higher up to the minister and telling, what are you guys doing with our national utility company, GEPE? So I want to make at the first place use of this opportunity to thank all the people working in GB. And I want to thank you for accepting all the criticism that actually you have no saying in the direction that GB is going. You're just doing your work. Wrong decisions are taken. Nepotism, political influence of ministers are making that it is what it is today. Yeah. Secondly, the GBE is losing its time by trying to actually recollect what it lost in the past. And I think at a certain moment, a radical decision has to come, and I hope I will be in that government to say, listen, guys, we can continue looking back, trying to threaten the people for them to pay all of a sudden thousands and thousands of guilders of expenses for utility, while they never got a invoice for what they had to pay for. And you're going to continue squeezing them, or you're standing as a government and say, no, I'm standing here for my people, and I'm going to take a decision now to say to GB, this is the stripe that we're going to draw, and from here on we're going to have a brand new start with this company, and we're going to look now forward, because this company is losing more time and energy in looking backward instead of looking forward to give this utility company a great future.
And the service,
and the service. So, and you know, I incredible. You have to imagine you are a person there working by the front desk of GEB, and everybody that comes in is actually frustrated, is talking, insulting you, while you're just sitting there doing your job, and you were not part of those taking decisions that has the company where it is now. So once more, I want to make use of this opportunity to thank the diehards of GEBE, guys. Thank you very, very much for going the extra mile under the given circumstances, and we have to learn to appreciate you guys for what you guys are doing under very difficult circumstances. And I hope that I will get the mandate of the people of Sint Maarten, because I'm going to draw a line in a certain moment. That is what I'm contemplating, if I get the mandate of the people, for us to oblige the approach of how we want to look to this GB, to give it a chance. We will have to turn our accent. Instead of looking back, we have to start looking forward now. And GB is more than 2 years only looking back how to recuperate the invoices that were missed, instead of looking in a vision plan, how are we going to look. We have been recently, Mr. Rollocks, and Michelle was there too, walking in
KB?
In KB, on the side of the GB plant. If you look at the dilapidated condition of this this company, you're going to say, my goodness,
what is going on?
But this place is going to collapse. It's going to implode. It's not possible for what we saw to be the national supplier of energy for our country. And who is busy with a vision plan, the future, about how are we going to replace all this, and what is the financial model that we're going to develop to make it a sustainable energy company for the people of this
and
country.
Doc, an article came out, I don't know if you saw it, Somersall, of Bonaire and Stacia, and explaining of the consumption of electricity, and they was talking about the pay-as-you-go that I'm promoting so hard, that you buy your electricity and you can put it inside and you could just leave it and you control your own electricity, and it's very unfortunate that Sint Maarten is not really, I'm not hearing nobody talk about it, at least the director's not even taking it in account that we can start this situation now. It's a possibility for the people. Because it's for the people. Because look, a lady from 70, 75 years old, Mr. Somersall, opens a bill, 3,000, 4,000 guilders. Where's she going to get these funds to pay GB?
Yep, absolutely.
That's the problem. Is like what Dr. Luke is saying, as business owners, we know how it is. Sometimes you just have to cut your losses move on.
And move on.
And I'm thinking that's where GB is sitting right now. GB has to come to a decision and say, hey guys, you know what? We have to just cut our losses and move on.
And move on.
And stop looking back.
Exactly. We have such an interesting conversation here, but time is running on us. I'm going to take a small break, and we will be back in a few minutes.
All right, Doc.
Dear people of Sint Maarten, welcome to the second half of your radio program, You Are Sint Maarten, on Radio Mix 94.7 FM. As you know, we are more than 2 years busy with this radio program, and it's being backed by the URSM, the Unified Resilient Sint Maarten Movement. And we believe in informing and educating the people. And today we have with us two candidates on the political party slate, including myself, is going to be 3 candidates. And we have today with us, as you know, in the first half already, I introduced them. I have Mr. Junior Rollocks with us. He is candidate number 9 on the party slate of the URSM. And we have also Mr. Somersall, that is number 10. On the list of the URSM. So we are working very hard to convince the people that we have to walk a other road now if we want a other Sint Maarten at the end of that road.
Oh, definitely.
Okay. We spoke in the first half of our radio program. We had an interesting conversation and discussion on a GEBE, our national utility company. That's one. We have a second one, and that is what is worrying me since I read a letter that leaked in the social media about the authorities of Sint Maarten that sent a letter to the director of the Princess Juliana International Airport, in which they were mad in that letter and actually informing the director of the Juliana International Airport that they will have to pull up their socks and do something.
Yes.
And I think they were right, because this is going on since 2018 after Irma. Today now is 2023. It's more actually than 5, going to 6 years already, that the airport is still not sufficient for what it's supposed to be. And I think I was very impressed. I was hurt too, to be honest.
Yes, of course. It's
because
embarrassing.
it's the port, it's the door of my economy, it's the entrance.
Yes, sir.
To hear or to see authorities from Sint Maarten actually expressing their malcontent, their discontent with what is going on in Sint Maarten. Sint Maarten used to be the place controlling the Caribbean, the Eastern Caribbean. For us today in 2023 to get a letter like that from Sint Maarten, I think it's time to wake up in this country.
Doc, sorry, Somersall. Doc, I have a question. I have nothing against the CEO of the airport. Okay, I want to make that very clear. But I would say I think it's very important for us to know as a community, as a public, it's an appointed position. That's one. And when you renew a position like this, doesn't it have to be some kind of accountability to the public? Why are we renewing this contract? Or doesn't the government have to talk to the people about this? And is it so confidential, Doc?
Well, I think with all jobs at the end of the year, you have your evaluation. And that's what you're talking about. You know, everybody's evaluated on their performance. And if you meet the criteria, then we will say we will continue. If you don't, well, then we will have to find someone else. But you don't hear nothing about that.
I don't know what Doc have to say.
I thought in this specific case of the airport of Sint Maarten, I think the evaluation has to be the greater accent of this evaluation, form and conversation has to be the seeing a modus, a way to score the progress of the reconstruction of the airport.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If you see that the management and the process is being stagnated, and you see that the team that is doing that is not performing and it's not on a timeline that has been agreed upon, there are then reasons for you to take disciplinary actions and say, okay, guys, this is not going the way we agreed upon, while you put your signature and said, okay, by that time this will be finished. Yeah. So I think as long as you don't put the timeline of progress of the reconstruction as a significant parameter to evaluate management teams or CEOs of an organization like the airport, it's going to be very difficult to interact and take a decision in that. Yeah. And I really believe that should be a parameter when you're evaluating now.
Of course.
To make sure, guys, it's now not about being friendly or not with personnel. It's about now the progress of the country, because it's so important for the economy of our country. We have no time more to lose.
We have seen this with the government. The lack of urgency to get things done is what is mind-blowing. And this is what you have when you have governments who've been sitting there. They get complacent. they're so comfortable in their seat.
Yeah.
That I could say they're not hungry anymore.
Of course.
They're not hungry anymore to see the country moving forward. Nothing is urgent. I traveled through the airport a few weeks ago, and they had a grand opening upstairs. Of course, it's open, but while you're up there, they have a few stores open, but construction's still going on. And then I experienced that whole thing coming back through.
Yep.
When I jump off the plane, you're standing down there in that line.
Losing hours.
Because all the flights are coming down. You have 3 lines.
I understood there's a big confusion, man.
Yeah. I mean, you just got to wait because it's flight for flight. You go in, but there's only one belt.
Yep.
So everybody got to wait on the luggage, and eventually they're just going to take all the suitcases off of the belt, put it on the side, and then you will have to look for your stuff. But it is a mess.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
Yeah.
And if you have a connecting flight, you're going to miss your connecting flight.
Yeah.
Because you have all of these flights coming in at the same time,
know,
big and small.
We tackle all the important pillars that makes us a country. We just spoke about our utility company that we're failing with. We spoke about the airport. That is our second pillar that makes us a country. And I'm going to touch base on my baby being the hospital. And we see that we are... No, but you see also that we are failing in the progress to get this hospital, general hospital, going for country Sint Maarten. And now we are realizing that there is no finance to keep on a health care financial system that is going to actually pay for that building, because you will have to have a financial model to pay for the health care of your people. And now everybody is screaming about the national health insurance. I have some question marks about this. And all of a sudden now it dies off, this national health insurance, because there are no votes to be gained with this national health insurance, because Dr. Messalina made recently on the radio a few statements about this national health insurance that everybody got like a wake-up call and said, okay, let it go, because this is not going to be something that we can get votes with. The only thing that we can make vote with now is this signing empty decrees for police officers that will not get their money. I'm telling you, because they're signing something that Parliament of Sint Maarten, but we discussed it just now, has to still approve, because it has to come in the budget of Parliament 2024, the national budget of the country for 2024, and Parliament will have to approve it. So they are promising things that has not been approved yet, and by the way, it has to still be published in the Gazette. And that means that it's going to take a while before it's in. But I'm telling you, the minister will push for it to be published in the Gazette before the 11th of January. And still it's going to remain an empty promise, because the money is not there, because the budget for 2024 for the country Sint Maarten has not been approved. But thank God, the chairs were empty. She thought she would get a lot of chairs filled there with police officers. Unfortunately, that was not the case, or fortunately.
I didn't see one, Doc.
Yes.
Wow.
Incredible. And that shows that people are really, really, really mad and disappointed. And they are sending a message outside there from, we are completely finito with these people.
Doc,
and we don't want to see them back.
I realize that the justice workers is at a point now. They just want to know when they're going to get their money.
Of course. That's it.
Don't tell me about no signing and all kind of stories, beautiful ceremonies, stacks. No. I want to know, when are you going to give me my money so I can... Because you know what's remarkable, Doc? With all due respect, I hear all kind of talks out there, and I'm asking myself, our justice workers also want to buy a house. Oh, yeah. They want to get a mortgage, not only car. They want to buy a house. They want to pay education for their young ones. Yeah. They want to go forward in life just like everybody else.
And they're not able to do it now.
That's what I'm saying. They're not able to do it. They're not able to get a mortgage. Yep. They're the ones now at the back seat of the bus, and still they're waiting. And you know what's the saddest part, Doc? Is the empty promises. You're gonna get the money December, then January, then March, and now we're in December now, going to an election. Yeah. They're turning up the government building with papers now because they want to get these votes to go back in there and fool the people.
Yes. Well, and there's a good thing now. Sorry, Michelle, that I'm interrupting you. There's a great one in this one. The minister has 3 more weeks to pay them.
Wow.
Yes, because it has to be before the
Yes,
11th.
of
After the
course.
11th, it's finito.
Yeah.
So if she has promised them their money, okay, pay them then.
Pay them.
Let us see.
Simple.
First, before the 11th of January, she has promised it with a lot of show off that she's going to sign the decree, put the whole thing, put a lot of empty chairs there. Okay, that's now you have to pay them before the 11th. Let me see if you can put the money where your mouth is,
Mouth
right?
is.
Yeah.
Of course, that is how we have to.
And I made a
What I wanted
statement
to say-
today.
Based on what you said there, Mr. Rollocks, that the justice workers want to know when. I'm hearing justice workers now saying, we don't even want to know.
Yeah.
I just want to see them my bank
Yes,
account.
yes.
You know,
Because
they're
they
fed
get
up with
they
waiting
get
and being disappointed.
expected that the money is
Yeah.
going to be there, and
So
then
they like-
tomorrow it's not there.
I just want to see it on my bank account, and when it's there,
It's
then
there.
I'll be
I
happy.
feel good.
Yeah, you know. So, but we're talking about she has until the 11th to pay, which is absolutely true. But they just paid out COLA as well, right?
You told them
1%?
you're going to pay it, pay them.
You know.
Don't make a
Doc,
ceremony signing. No, pay them.
And Doc, the cola too is another.
1%.
Not only 1%. They're going back. The last cola was 2013, so they're going back only 5 years. What about the other 5 years? It's 10 years. Somersall.
Yeah.
Give the people them the 10 years. Why is this government playing as if that they don't want to give the people what is due to them?
Or,
I
or
don't
be honest
understand,
with them
boy.
and tell them you don't have
Hey,
the money.
yes, that's it.
It's possible. to
That's
have.
also spot. We don't
Yeah,
know,
no,
Doc.
no,
We don't know
no,
because
you don't have the money. Okay, just tell them then. No, you want their vote, but you don't want to tell them.
tell them or give them their
Yeah,
money.
you're
But Doc,
manipulating them.
there's a lot of secrecy also in this government. They're keeping a lot of things under the sheets because they don't want us to know the truth.
Yeah.
We have to realize that too, because maybe if we're going there, we're gonna be like, but they have money. Give the people their money. What's the problem? You know, these guys are doing a lot of craziness, and it's sad, Doc.
I think as leaders, something you just got to be honest with your people, be
Yeah.
transparent, be forthcoming, and this is the thing: be forthcoming with information, and don't wait until last minute to surprise the people.
Yeah.
And I think that's different.
And be
from how
honest.
we-
Be honest.
Yes,
how
be
we look
honest.
at
Yes.
Be honest.
Yes.
And you know, that is it. With this way of governing, like we're seeing now, people are losing the trust
Yeah.
Yeah.
in those that are mandated to do the job for them. And people think it's about them. Those politicians think it's about you, it's about me. No, it's about the bigger purpose of the country.
Country.
And the only thing you have to do as being government is just facilitate the people.
Yep.
Facilitate, make sure that the police have everything they need to execute the job in a
job.
responsible way. Make sure that there are active after-school activities in the neighborhoods. Make sure that the sport complexes are in good shape, that the people can enjoy it. And that's the way you have to do it, but
Doc,
not
you
what
know,
we're
it's
doing.
it's funny you say that, Doc, because all of a sudden now I see at Jose Lake they're putting up some lights now. I mean, everything is happening after the 4 years of governing, Michelle.
No,
What's
they-
going on, brother?
They say now the money has
You're,
become available.
you're the sportsman.
Yeah.
Talk about this, man,
They say
because
now
I
the
want
money has become
to know
available
what's going on in
to
this
get
country.
things done.
Jose Lake has been a while no lights, and now they start to put up lights.
You know, you're
are-
hearing stories going back and forth that it comes now from the capital budget to get things done. And if we have to get money from NRPB, we only could fix it back to the previous state before Irma, but you cannot improve the facility. And that is a little back and forth that you're hearing out there that government is saying that has been the hold up for the repairs of these sports facilities.
But Mr. Somersall, I'm going to
Where
tell you
there's a well,
something.
there's a way.
Yeah, but you know, this government, you have to realize, started to govern with 550 million. Don't forget it.
Yes, sir.
Huh? They got 550 million.
Million US.
Of course, under supervision of the trust fund
Yeah.
from the World Bank. But they had 550 million if they could have worked good, present good projects to
Yes.
make sure that that money could be redistributed to actually reconstruct what has been destructed by the Hurricane Irma. Man, if I would have a government that has 550 million.
Half
to
a
my
billion
disposal,
dollars, huh?
Half a billion, man, I would make this place shine.
Shine, Doc.
Yeah, but hopefully the people are understanding. I'm telling you honest, people are now waking up, realizing that no more of the same. And we are heading now for a alternative, for a change for the country. The change took place in Grenada. The change took place in British Guyana. The change took place in Curacao. The change took place on the French side.
Yes, sir.
The change took place in Dominica
The
with
Netherlands,
Scarrett.
huh? The Netherlands.
In the Netherlands, the big change. And I'm telling you, statistically, the change will take place on the Dutch side of Sint Maarten on the 11th of January.
And Doc, you know what? I want to make sure the public knows that don't go behind the noise, because that is just propaganda. Okay?
Yep.
We have to go and look at your candidates individually, look what they want to fight for, what they want to stand for. I am one candidate that was victimized, as you know, and I do not want any other individual of this nation, any young entrepreneur, middle-aged entrepreneur, pensioner entrepreneur, go through what I've been through in this country, and I want to protect every one of you from this victimization that is going on in this country. You talk to even civil servants, Doc, they tell you, boy, XYZ, because this government is very, they want to victimize them, so they sometimes they just play, go along, and when they go, they do what they have to do. Don't worry about the flags, Doc. Don't worry about the flags. You know why? Because there's a lot of people on the road without flags.
Yep.
And when they go in there, they're going to do what they have to do.
Yeah.
And they're going to walk out. Because we live in a small island. You can see the same car pass 10 times with the same flag.
Yeah.
So I believe that our people will definitely go in there and show this government that they're tired and they want a political party that can really direct our country in prosperity.
Well, you see, now we don't have no excuse that government fell within a year and a half or 2 years. You had a full term.
Yeah. No, the excuse now is COVID and Irma. That's the excuse.
COVID and Irma.
Yeah.
You can't use COVID and Irma.
No, I'm just telling you what the excuse. That's what they're saying. Because next year now, if we get a hurricane, they're going to continue using that same thing.
You had 4 years to do what you had to do, and in the downtime of COVID, and I just want to touch on education for a little brief minute, Doc.
Yeah.
In the time of COVID, the schools were closed.
Yes.
That was our opportunity to repair the schools.
Yes, sir.
For when the children was going back to school after COVID.
Hey, Somersall, that's a good topic, man.
And
what's happening right now? In the ninth inning, the bottom of the ninth inning, the baseball game is almost done. They're running to fix Martin Luther King. They're running to fix Orion's Hole. And Orion's Hole, you know what had to happen for them to go and fix it? Yeah. The teachers had to get upset, come outside, strike, sit down with the children. Yeah. It's sad, Doc. And I always, when I talk to Doc, I'd say, Doc, once we get in, we have to hit the ground running because a lot of work we have to do.
But that's what about our party. Our party is proactive. We are proactive thinkers. We don't sit back and wait for stuff. We're business people.
Yeah.
If you don't hustle and get things done, you don't have no income. If we don't hustle and get things done for our country, we won't have no income coming into the coffer so we could take care of our people. We need proactive thinkers in Parliament now.
Doc, there's a restaurant, I'm not going to mention his name, a restaurant owner, and Doc, you know him very well. He's basically tired of Sint Maarten. He told me that he's tired of not Sint Maarten, but the governing system. He's doing different projects, and he's a local guy, man. I mean, once he's a local guy, it's something great for our nation. It's a guy that he was born here. He's fighting with his country. He's investing in his country, and he gets fight down. Yeah. Everybody wants money. The corruption in this country, it's crazy, Doc. And the way sometimes our prime minister talks as if we live in a nice, good, everything is perfect, everything is good, and that's so sad.
Absolutely. I was listening to you guys, your drive, your commitment for a change for our country. It makes me proud as leader of this URSM to see that I'm surrounded by driven people that really want to see a change. You guys have also a great love for Sint Maarten like me. And I think that is the first condition you need to adhere to for you to do what you have to do in this nice country. Yeah. We are just promising our discipline, our commitment, and our time and energy investment in the future of Sint Maarten. And we are hoping to get a good result with the elections on the 11th of January.
Yes.
Mr. Julian Rollocks, we are almost at the end of our radio program. I would like to start giving you the open floor as a finalized round for our program. You have the floor,
well, Doc,
Johnny.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity. People of Sint Maarten, this is your candidate number 9, Julian Rollocks Jr. I have been fighting for you for quite some time. I've been there with you for quite some time. As you know, I'm not a candidate that just jump out of the air. You know, I have my program. I give back to my community. You know, even though we've been through a lot of struggles, but I'm still there for you as a people, because I love Sint Maarten, and I really would want the opportunity to serve you, but serve you on a different level right now. You know, I want you to give we the opportunity, the URSM. You know, don't give us 1, 2, 3, 4. Give us the majority. You know, we need the majority for we to direct you in the best interests of our country. I'm not going to stay too long, but thank you so much. I would like to thank Doc also and the board of the URSM. Thank you so much.
Michel, it's up to you. You have the open floor.
All right, radio listeners, thank you for tuning in. And for those who are watching us on Facebook Live, my name is Michel Somersall. I'm candidate number 10 on the URSM slate. My motivation, my drive is I want to see our people excel. You know, I'm not a newcomer to the game. I've ran before. You've known me from being a health inspector, for those who remember me, Michel Somersall, the health inspector, the food safety inspector that started closing places down on this island. Why? Because I had to secure your safety. Doesn't matter if it was big or small, I did my job, and I did it well. For those who know me from giving food safety classes for 12 years, I want to ask you one question. In those 12 years that you have come and sit in my class, have ever the quality or my passion for what I was doing drop in any one of those sessions? You can judge me on that, and you know what kind of passion and commitment I'm going to bring to the floor of Parliament to work on your behalf.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for those nice words, Michel. And as Luc Merceline, the leader of the URSM, ladies and gentlemen, I'm asking you humbly out of my heart to consider one of our candidates on the URSM to mandate to take care of your business. And I want to once more make use of this opportunity. Please don't sell your vote. Vote your conscience for a greater Sint Maarten tomorrow. I would like to thank you for taking your time out to be with us today. Mr. Junior Rollocks, thank you for your time to be here with us too. The same for Mr. Michel Somersall. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here with us tonight, and I'm looking forward to have you back next week Wednesday from 6 to 7 in our weekly radio program, You Are Sint Maarten. Have a great evening. Good night.